Good morning everyone, welcome to this week's Baycroft Learn. As you know, this week we have been learning about equations and we've had specific requests for that to be the subject of this week's homework, which is what we're going to do. It's something that we normally start learning in year 11 actually, but it follows on nicely from the revision stuff we've been doing on algebra, hence why we're revisiting it now. So before we jump in, there's a few things that you just need to remember, okay? You just need to remember 5x always means 5 lots of x, 5 times x. There's no trick to remembering this, in the same way that 6y will always mean 6 times y. It's just something you're going to have to remember, okay? Inverse operations, I'm going to be talking about inverse operations as we go through. Inverse just means the opposite. We've covered this a few times. So the opposite of add is take away, the opposite of multiply is divide. Okay, that's all inverse operations means. And the balancing method is the method we are going to be using. And it's important to remember the term balance, because what you've got to remember is what we do on one side of the equals, we need to do onto the other side of the equals. Okay, so what does that actually mean? What we need to work out here is the value of n. And in order to do that, we need to use our inverse operations, and we also need to use the balancing method. So let's look at this equation. This is saying that 4 lots of n plus 5 will give us 13. So what we need to do when we're using the balancing method is end up with numbers on one side and letters on the other side of the equals. And by numbers and letters, letters essentially will be this bit here, 4 lots of n. Okay, so we want letters on one side, numbers on the other. Well, what's stopping us doing that at the moment? It's this plus 5. How do we get rid of 5? We simply take away 5. But we're using the balancing method. What we do on one side, we have to do on the other. So we're going to take away 5 from this side as well. So then we're going to rewrite the question. Well, we've now got 4n, 4 lots of n. 5 take away 5 means we've got nothing left, equals 13 take away 5 gives us 8. So we now know that 4 lots of n is 8. So what's 1 lot of n going to be? Well, this means 4 times n is 8, so we're going to use our inverse. We're going to do the opposite. We're going to divide. 8 divided by 4 means that n equals 2. I could explain that all over again actually, but you really did secure that this week, so I'm not going to, because I think you do get this. We're going to do one more example. In fact, we're going to do 2 more examples quite quickly. 3 lots of n plus 7. We want letters on one side, numbers on the other. What do we have to get rid of? This 7. Which means we get rid of 7 on this side. So then we end up with 3n equals 19 take away 7 is going to give us 12. 3 lots of n gives us 12, so we're going to use our inverse. We're going to divide. 12 divided by 3 means that n equals 4. Okay? What about this one? We need to do exactly the same. The only difference is this time we've got a negative 3. How do we get rid of a negative number? Well, think about it in terms of a number line. We've got a negative 3. We need to get back to 0 to get rid of it, which means we have to add on 3 this time. So we add 3, which means we add 3 to the other side, and then we go through exactly the same process. So 4x, that's been got rid of. 4x equals 25 plus 3 will be 28. Then we can work out the value of x. One last one then is this. This is building on stuff that we've been doing before. Firstly, what we need to do here is expand the brackets. So we're actually combining different processes here. We know how to expand brackets. We multiply what's on the inside by what's on the outside. We've already done stuff on this, haven't we? So 3 times x gives us 3x. 3 times 4 gives us 12. And it's a positive times a positive, which is a positive, equals 27. And then we just work out the equation the same way we've already been doing. We need to get rid of this 12, which means we get rid of 12 on this side, which gives us 3x equals 15, and then we can work out the value of x. And I think that's all I've done. or post the work. Enjoy.